Well, I've done a JelloApocalypse parody on Gravity Falls and 2 other Disney shows with some connection to it. And since DuckTales 2017 ended, while we have a small amount of details on the Owl House Season 2, let's go over a more classic-y Disney cartoon, American Dragon, Jake Long. I saw this as a kid and thought it'd be time to revisit it using Disney+. 21 episodes in total, although 3 of them comprise of 2 short stories, so there are actually 24 episodes, which I can manage, and 10 words remains as the limit per episode that gets addressed, short or long. And now you may dragon up for the experience that's about to soar. Hey, I'm Owen, the fiction fanboy, and here's every episode in Season 1 of American Dragon, Jake Long, reviewed in 10 words or less. A decently done start-off chore. Should have done some dragon breathe-in and outs, mate. Prized possession requires pizzazz. You say tooth, I say fang, and it kinda bites. It's pretty cheesy, yet relatable at the same time. Hey, you trolling me, dude? Get this one leashed and attached to a tree. The dragon got out of his nest. Crack it open. Move carefully. Summoned to prove honor and worthiness. Bet there's a 50-50 chance you foresaw all this. Don't be disguising for too darn long, dude. Talk about a heartbreak going downhill. Oh my, 2 trips that get insane, y'all. Fashion, females, and foo? Freaky. When you're the one up against gremlins. Backstory for big story. Poop on party? Nah, halt the hunt. Think Tom and Jerry, but bigger. Smelling freedom and magic fairness. Keeping things steady. Parental problems? Oh please. Captivating. And that was a successful trial, if I do say so myself. I shall finish things off with the top 3 best and worst episodes in the first season of American Dragon, Jake Long. My impressions on the series so far were a bit of a mixed bag, yet there were gems and some that fell flat. These are just my opinions, which are presumably different from yours, so try not to be a jerk if you disagree with what I see. Proceeding to the countdown this instant. Number 3 worst. Reign around the dragon. 2 giants have asked Jake to bring back their son who ran off to participate in wrestling. Using his dragon powers, Jake enters the tournament to get the runaway giant back, but because the giant boy told the manager about the village of giants, the wrestling boss goes there to force the giants to participate in his sport. As much as I understand the moral of needing to love your parents, Jake's parents went overboard with the notes that come out of nowhere, and some sort of hazard could have occurred in this scene. Also, the giants are like the least interesting magical creatures, since they're basically just massive humans. At least Jake's message at the end was sweet enough to keep me from considering this episode to be bad. Number 3 best. Professor Rotwood's thesis. Jake, Trixie, and Spud accidentally end up breaking a valuable glass vase and need $600 to replace it with a similar vase. The friends of the protagonist find the dragon their crazy school professor almost successfully took a picture of to get 5/6 of the dough they need, though they don't realize that Jake was the dragon until after the trade. If you want to make an episode where the closest of pals find out the hero's identity, I say the execution here was handled well, and I'm glad the vase was replaced. Rotwood was forced to rot, And even though he was given a potion that would erase memories of those who are in contact with it, Jake didn't want his besties to forget what they witnessed. Number 2 worst. Eye of the Beholder. Veronica the spider-legged girl was meant to be the contestant for Pandarus' beauty competition so she could foil his scheme, though a broken leg forces Fu to pose as a girl, which isn't very comfortable with me, especially when Fu is on break and how mean she was to the other contestants earlier. Plus, Santa both judging and doing his holiday work wasn't ideal. What's really a stretch is that the baddie was planning on marrying the victor and didn't care if he was gonna hitch a dog. And fantasy or not, no. Just no. I do not want to be thinking about the possibilities of such a nightmare. I already am. Solid for the mutt to stand up for the ladies, I'll give it that. Number 2 best. The Hunted. Disregard to what happened at the Golden Apple choosing, Jake is worried about what to do with Rose due to the fact that she's Hunt's girl, the one determined to slay her first dragon. Later, the Mac Daddy dragon ends up captured by the Hunt's clan, along with a giant, a mermaid, a leprechaun, and a brownie for the Grand Equinox Hunt. Despite the weaknesses the creatures have, they are able to work together thanks to Jake stepping up as a leader. Just when it seemed he was going to be Hunt's girl's grand prize, Jake made the risky decision to reveal his identity to her, convincing Rose to free him. Though things didn't end the way Jake wanted to, the conclusion of this season is a great way to set up for the next season. Number 1 worst. The Egg. Shortly after being assigned to babysit an egg for homework, Jake really needs to take care of a baby griffin egg. The 2 main hunters snatch it, and the 2 rivaling pairs battle for it in a huge chase. I hope you enjoy egg puns and characters saying the title of the episode over and over and over again, because you'll be hearing either or every 5 seconds. The puns were so awful, Jake brought that up at the end. Most obstacles in the battle are Easter themed, a minor thing worth points. However, what adds insult to injury is Jake failed his school assignment, and once they return the griffin egg, the mother eats it as a gross fake out to properly raise its offspring. Honestly, you could just neglect this rotten tale and you won't be missing much if you binge this series. Unless you desperately desire an Easter episode, I guess. Number 1 best. The Ski Trip. A field trip to go skiing occurs, and Jake believes he should tell Rose he's the American Dragon, regardless of what his buds say and their plans. LOL about Rotwood getting injured countless times, and Spud's wacky relationship with the ski lift, sure. Nevertheless, the real juicy stuff of all that's happening is that Hunt's girl is on the trip, and Jake's need to catch her and hang out with Rose. More and more evidence that Rose is Hunt's girl is shown to us viewers, and even Trixie is noticing it all. Blue Pac-Man eyes, her voice, her strength, asking for a new ski pass, who else could it have been? Jake unfortunately found out the truth the hard way with all that and her dragon mark. We might have known ever since the pilot, but that doesn't make the reveal any less sad for us or Jake that he was crushing on his arch enemy. And during Valentine's Day season, quite a huge set of whammies. And that's why this episode obtained a huge win in my book. Want more fiction? Then please do what my friends say, comment below, and follow me on Instagram for thumbnail previews and teasers for upcoming YouTube videos. Fiction Fanboy has finished this video. Everyone keep fantasizing, and good night-o.